Well, now we can.
Hello and welcome to Bonus Action Heroes, where a group of non-voice actors play Dungeons and Dragons.
We do
Steve,
very sketchy accents.
Apologies up front for those.
I was
Well,
really,
apologies from me too.
I was waiting for you to go.
If anyone finds my accent insulting, I promise it's just my natural accent.
Real, yeah.
I'm not trying to do an insulting Greek accent with my actual accent.
It's the most authentic accent we've got, so let's stick with it.
This week we're playing Curse of Strahd, and don't remember what happened last time. You went to collect some tax from a traveling merchant to get you back in the Burgomaster's good books. You came upon her wagon, overturned off the beaten path, lots of dead wolves, weren't quite sure what happened. Followed tracks to a little hovel in the woods where you met Jenny Greenteeth, the merchant in question, and her boar. I can't remember what I called him. I want to say Piggy. Let's call it Miss Piggy. And you had a bit of a chat with her. You bought some potions. I think Darzin pissed her off. Or Olav pissed her off. Yeah, Olav told her how to do her job.
I was
said her
just
house
trying
was
to
shit.
I was trying to get her to, improve the ambience. That's all.
And
It
Darzin
was the
told that he
creepy
was a
music.
liar.
Yeah.
Darzin
Yeah.
was honest about his dishonesty, and she instantly decided from that he was a bastard.
Fair judgment, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's Darzin's
Like
turn to be the
Alessander, though.
bastard of the week. It's you this week.
Alessander kissed ass, and you bought some health potions, and she refused to pay taxes because she doesn't keep receipts and shit like that. And in the end, you went to the Burgomaster's house, and I don't remember how this happened, but Olav got a discount on his health potion, but Darzin paid her tax for her.
It was Milton got the fucking discount, and
Other way, there you go.
Darzin is still irritated that Milton benefited from his deal, and he didn't.
No, because Milton said he was going to. Hang on now. He either said he was going to pay because he got pay the taxes because he got the discount, or give you the discount. One of the two.
Milton's whole ordeal was he was going to make sure Darzin would pay for it.
Hey?
Whatever happened, Darzin walked into the Burgomaster's house and handed over, I can't remember how much.
I think it was like 20 total gold.
So work that out between yourselves.
Okay.
Then you thought, oh, let's go back to the Blue Water Inn for a rest, but you were accosted by an NPC who appeared out of the shadows called Ernst, who said that they were there to invite you to dinner on behalf of the Lady Wachter, and he could escort you there, except he thought you should probably prepare for dinner, and looks you up and down, probably sniff the air. You got the gist. So, you'll have an hour before he's going to come back to the Blue Water Inn to pick you up. What would you like to do? Let's put you in a Blue Water Inn, shall we?
No clean clothes. I
Suppose
I
we
know
should
the
try and
clothes
have a
are
bit
on
of a
online.
wash.
Alexander's just gonna look down at himself, very dejected, just upset.
It's really quite unnecessary, but I would like to point out, because it's just so detailed, this map does have a bathhouse if you head outside and sort of down and left. So there are definitely facilities that you will have been made aware of if you'd just gone around looking like that. Oh, Lev's off.
I'm going to go for a quick splosh. I've heard there's a bathhouse round here somewhere. I'm going to see what's in here. Oh, look. Looks like it could be a bath. Well, get in line, isn't it? I was here first. Milton does the Geralt of
Yes.
Rivia pose.
Alessandra, you just walked in on him. Jesus.
I haven't even put any water in yet.
Wasn't trying to go that far.
Olaf's gone off piste.
Gonna make friends with a horse.
You
Graham,
don't have to
you're not in
RP.
here, are you?
Graham
If
can be
Alessandra's in there,
I
You
don't want
will
no
hear-
invisible imp looking at me potatoes.
no.
From where?
Alessandra's direction.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long it would take if there's any hot water prepared or anything, but I will make necessary preparations and finish my bath. All yours.
Thank you.
If you head in, it's muddy and horrible. You are gonna need to draw a new path. I never thought we'd RP this. I'm enjoying it.
Is there like a tap or somewhere where he's drawing the water from?
I would say you'll have passed this well at the front of the inn, and there's a sort of heat under the bath heating stone tub, coals underneath, sort of
he'll
thing
go-
going on.
He'll go get water, but then he'll come back and he'll just have he'll have a horse wash. It'll be cold and quick and impersonal.
That sounds like Milton's sex life.
Oh, Milton doesn't have a sex life.
Exactly.
And then that'll be Alexander done.
Cool.
And he
I mean,
will
you
hightail.
You smell better. I mean, your clothes are still bloodstained
hasn't-
and
yeah.
ragged, but
He hasn't got a change of clothes. He hasn't got time to wash and dry clothes. He's only got an hour. And the guy who could do prestidigitation seems to have fucked off to pastures now. I'm not even sure if it was prestidigitation that absence had. I think it was probably thaumaturgy, wasn't it? Don't know which one did what.
Prestidigitation can clean, I think.
yeah.
Okay, I'll just start asking people if they could do prestidigitation. Prestidigitation.
Prestidigidoo.
Can anyone do prestidigitation?
Not me.
Darzin?
I can do a few scathing words, but I can't do prestidigitation.
Okay.
I think Alessandro would have found Darzin sitting at the table, just dabbing some of that expensive wine on his neck like it was aftershave.
Nick? Can you do prestidigitation?
No, I'm afraid not. There's never much of a need for it.
Okay. Suppose I'll just continue to go around in these shit-covered trousers.
Are you asking this where you are in the tavern at that table?
Yes.
This is not how I thought you'd meet this character. But this
Oh,
gentleman
God.
will walk over. Let's show you a picture.
I know him. He's the guy who paid Darzan the first time he performed.
He did.
Yes.
You're very observant. You should be the note taker, because every time I have to explain what's going on, I don't remember.
So far, I'm only remembering people who have stood out.
It's Gustav Fring.
Every time I have to explain what's going on, I don't remember. Okay, you're gonna have to bear with me while I go look up who that is. Oh, it is. You will see a brown-skinned male. From what you can see of his hairline, short grey hair, but he's got this lavishly embroidered and beaded flat top hat that matches an equally lavish turquoise-looking tunic and these big round glasses that make his eyes look like saucers. And I haven't thought of a voice for him because I didn't think I would introduce him for a while, but did I hear that you need prestidigitation?
Yes. We're supposed to be going for. We've been invited to a meal, and unfortunately, we've been through quite a lot the last few days. And well, I look like this, and like Alessandro will stand up from where he was and just kind of very meekly demonstrate.
He will look you up and down with a smile and say, I see. Allow me, if I may. And with a wave of his hand, your shirt will sort of like become untucked as it billows and comes clean and as if ironed. And those horrible damp spots that you were never sure whether they were blood or mud or something horrible that you didn't want to describe, disappear. Can I be of service to anyone else?
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, same again. I would usually charge coin for this, you know. He'll give you a bit of a wink. What's a bit of a wink? He'll give you a wink.
Half
A
wink.
wink. Partial wink from a partial dandy.
Are you okay, sir? You just have a twitch in your eye.
Darzan will ask for a prestidigitation too and slide him a silver. He'll probably joke, going, I'm pretty sure this is the same silver you gave me when I performed here the first time.
Ah, yes. I haven't seen you performing since. You quite took my spot, you know. I was doing the little open mic nights here until you were turned up the other day.
Well, I've been following this lot around the last few days, so you can mostly have your spot back.
No, it's the more the merrier.
Oh well, I'm saving some of my skills now. The Burgomaster's strong-armed me to perform in the festival.
Oh, has he? Did you have anything in particular planned? Maybe I can be of assistance there.
I'll think about it and let you know.
I can, I'm not skilled in an instrument, but I can, compose a ditty or tell a good story.
I'd welcome having you compose something for me to play. That'd be interesting to see what someone creates.
I'll think of something. It'll have to be family friendly. This crowd, they prefer the lewder, more crass material. I'll have to rework something, but I'm sure I can manage that.
Yes, I don't have a lot of family-friendly material myself. And then he'll just kind of like gesture to himself as like the, not like a fucking prestidigitation me, but like a, this is waiting when you're ready.
Oh, yes, of course. My apologies. Your garb. Vistani? You don't have an accent.
I actively try to avoid an accent. It's a lot of effort, but I think if I walked around wearing the garb and sounding the same, people might not notice the pointed ears.
That is one way to do it, of course. And he will lift up his hat, and you will see he also has pointed ears.
Is there more Alisandir style or more? Has he cut his ears?
It's just picture I liked.
Okay. Do they look more like Alisandirs or more like Darzans?
Or like Darzans. I can remember what races you are.
Alisandir's half elf and Darzans and Eladrin.
Or like Darzans.
Okay. Oh. I have to have a conversation about that, but we're not quite so pressed for time, perhaps.
Yes. No, it would be a pleasure. I of course noticed the new folk about the place, but if you didn't want to necessarily engage with everyone, I'm sure arriving here is quite overwhelming. I'm sure because I know.
Well, the forced joy concept is a bit bullshit. But yeah, other than I think the Burgomaster and Blinksky, I haven't really talked to too many people.
He will lean in and say, in a lowered tone, I would lower your voice. My friend, just, the Burgomaster has spies everywhere.
Of course he does. Well, we're not exactly each other's biggest fans as already.
An excellent
Well, we're not
jest.
exactly
I
each
can
other's biggest fans
imagine
as
you
already.
to be a great teller of tales. I look forward to swapping stories.
I can imagine you
To be a great teller of tales. I think you look well for your dinner. I'm quite jealous. All I've had is well, what they serve here day in day out for goodness how many months.
Speaking of
Many.
stories, would you mind telling us yours? Speaking of stories, would you mind
Of
telling us
course I
yours?
can, because the DM prepared this. I, I apologize. My name is Rick Tavio. We haven't actually introduced ourselves. Rick Tavio. I arrived a few months ago from Faerun. I was traveling with my carnival. And one night in the woods, I turned around and my troop was no longer with me. Just myself and my wagon.
Your whole group of wagons was no longer with you?
Correct. We seem to have become separated in what I'm sure you are now familiar with as these supernatural mists.
That does sound very familiar.
Yes, well, I found my way here and have been learning to make it my home, I suppose.
Were you alone in your wagon?
Yes, just myself. A lonely existence. Especially after having travelled with so many friends, but we must make the most of what life throws at us.
Yeah, I get that feeling. Yeah, it's everything that happened. So how have you gotten by in these lands without the rest of your people.
Oh, it was mean. I was quite nomadic as a traveller beforehand. I'm sure you will know my friend, and he'll gesture to Darzin. Moving about all the time, earning food and board through telling a tale, singing a song, gathering new stories to turn into tales. It's usually price enough, and then you move on. Luckily, the Martikovs here have allowed me to stay. I've probably not earned my keep quite enough, but they're good people.
You did help us with not change for money, which I must have made a find suspicious usually. Are you looking for friends? Are you just going to be kind?
You not always try to be kind?
What end?
I think that should go as a rule for every person.
That's very noble of you, but you have to appreciate why, in my experience, it hasn't been the case, and it makes me a bit wary. Hopefully. No offense intended.
Oh, I can imagine. No, again, no offense intended to you, but you're small and green, and the small and green folk that I have encountered in my time have not been treated very well. Equally, they have not treated me very well, but, well, you're not attempting to stab me or steal my money right now, are you? And therefore, I will reserve any such judgments.
I appreciate the benefit of the doubt. Though I am not, as you wrongly assumed, a goblin. But I understand the confusion.
May I ask what you are?
Well, we're not entirely sure what we are, but it will go down, and we are a group of humanoid, more humanoid goblins, supposedly created by a mysterious otherworldly entity. To what end, we don't know. Unfortunately, I've been separated from my people, and there's not a lot of my people around. To the extent to which I understand my existence and my purpose. The one that
So-
imbues, that's what we call it, our deity. Or, well, you would understand as a deity, but for us, it's a thing, force of nature.
That is quite a tragic tale, my friend. So you were separated from your own people and then separated again, I suppose, in... Well, I don't actually know. Did you all know each other beforehand? How did you stumble into Barovia?
I was traveling, and we were all traveling together. We didn't really know each other, but we kind of woke up here.
It seems you have all made friends where you needed them. I would like to hear more of you and your people. It's not something I think I've encountered before, and would, with grace, like to be able to tell that tale to others.
You're free to do so if you choose. As I said, I can't really say much more. We are also nomadic. We are very adaptable. We try to adapt to every situation we're in. We have to. And we believe in change above all. That is our only constant in life.
Interesting. Okay, so change is integral to the Verdun, you said? So Is there... This story needs a hook. It needs some sort of emotional retelling of the separation of you from your people. Who did you leave behind? Did you have family? Did you have parents, siblings, friends, a husband, a wife, something else entirely, a pet?
I was abducted from my family by a group of hags that found me too disgusting to eat, so they kept me around so I can take care of the other children before they ate them. I just looks at them with like a deadpan face.
Oh my goodness. Okay, just wait a moment, and he'll pull out a little blue book and inkwell and pen and pull up to your table and start scribbling furiously.
Alexander has collapsed into his chair. Looks like he's having palpitations.
Arson would like to
Really
lean
shocked.
over the table to Alessander and just go, would you mind terribly if I... What the fuck was that? Would you mind terribly if I asked, what is a Faerun?
Does Alexander know?
Yeah, it's the continent that you were all... Continent? Oh, now this is... Yeah, Matt's nodding. It's the continent that you were
It is a
all...
continent.
on when you were... found yourself in the mists when you were travelling.
I've heard of people traveling from Faerun. Another name I have heard is Toril. There are people from many worlds here, although most are dead.
Bleak, but correct, I suppose. Observation, yes. I don't know if this Toril either. This is most exciting. Are you from Toril?
No. I've just met people who claim to be from this place. I don't know anything of it, I'm afraid. It seems periodically there are people such as yourselves who are taken by the mists.
Yes. When I arrived, I spoke to some of the locals, and they said it hadn't happened for some couple of years or so. So it's quite odd that I should find my way here, and then all of you. This is... it seems quite a lot for what they have previously experienced. Perhaps we are linked in some way, or... Oh, this is very interesting.
I think my people have a theory that the mists are linked to the lords of each land here. So Strahd, and I'll look around, realizing I shouldn't have said that. The devil. I believe there is some link with the mists. Perhaps even he can control it to a degree. But I do not think he is its master.
Where do you get all of this knowledge from, my friend? You seem to understand this deeply, and you have the Barovian accent I can hear, so... Have you been studying the mists, or...
I've traveled the mists. I've seen other lands beyond Barovia. Not really intentionally, unfortunately.
No, wait, you've found a way back to Faerun? Or...
No. I found my way to a place called Darkon. The ruler in this place is missing, I hear. And the mists are slowly taking back the land there. It is most interesting and most strange, but the lord of this place has disappeared. Some say escaped, some say died. Who can say? But it is possible to travel these mists and find yourself in another place, but that place too is in the mists, if this makes sense to you.
No, not at all, but it is... opening all sorts of possibilities in my mind. This could be a way out. This could, at the very least, be a thread to follow. I would very much like to speak to you more.
Would be a pleasure. If you wish to travel through the mist, then you would need an amulet tuned to the place you wish to travel to. But of course, you must have an amulet to travel back to the place you wish to be. I believe the Vistani know this art far better than I do. I've seen these amulets. I did not use one though. I wanted the miss to, just to see what happened, and I was lost for many years. So I do not recommend it unless you are prepared to not return.
I see. So you don't have an amulet now?
No, I have never had one, but I have seen them. Some of my people may have them, but I apologize. I do not believe they will share them with strangers.
Well, we can become not strangers, no? Who are your people? This is... Sorry, I'm getting excited. When you say your people, people in town? Are the Barovians? Or Vistani, as you said some Vistani know of this. Do you? And he'll turn to Darzan again.
I think Darzan will be like faintly shaking his head, but he'll also be like sat back in his chair, stroking his beard. It's kind of like thoughtfully lost in his own world. But he'll be like, "Oh no, I didn't know about this until yesterday, I think."
This is fascinating. Fascinating stuff. And you can see it's a sort of shorthand because it's quite illegible. He's been eyes locked on you, really engaged, but his hand's just been whirring over the page, writing down everything that you say. And you will hear behind you and see Ernst from before. God, he's got maniacal eyes, hasn't he? Are you... Need an accent now. Are you ready? The lady waits.
My new friend, could you perhaps do the thing to my clothes? They've seen battle and a leg.
Oh, yes, of course. Sorry, you must away to your dinner. Who is... He'll look over his shoulder at the gentleman. Who is it with? Is he with you?
It's just an invitation, I believe.
Yes, of course. Sorry. Absolutely. And he'll prestidigitate you, and he'll turn to you, Mick. Your cat.
I'm quite alright, thank you. I'd rather you didn't.
Each to their own. Your bird, sir?
You want to prestidigitation my bird?
I'm just trying to be helpful. He is looking a bit ruffled.
Yes, I'm sure Crowford would quite enjoy a slight clean.
I used to do it all the time with dear Piccolo, but he hated baths. And he will wave his hand, and he looks ever so shiny and lovely now. I think that's everyone except Mick. Have a good evening. It was a pleasure indeed. I, like you, am staying here, so I will see you anon.
Well, remember what I said. Do not be tempted to travel the mists unless you are prepared to not be able to return.
Oh, my friend, I have already tried that in a desperate attempt when I first arrived here, but yes, it was not successful. Clearly, clearly.
The powers that be did not wish you to go.
Indeed.
I'll get up and walk away.
Okay, goodbye.
As we're walking off, Darzin will tap Rictavio on the shoulder and be just under his breath just say, like, be ready for a particularly long stay.
You are a pessimist, my friend.
I've been here for 3 centuries. I think I've earned that right.
I am very sorry to hear that.
And then he just toddles off out the door.
I never thought Darzin would be one to toddle. I feel like toddle is how stool walks.
I feel like Stool's more of a waddle.
What's the difference between a toddle and a waddle?
I imagine a toddle as a tad more fancy.
It's a fancy waddle.
A twaddle, if you like.
Fine,
mean-
let's change it.
I feel like we need a demonstration, but
Darzin catwalk marches out of the blue water and
oh yes, yes. Okay,
Saunter.
no, the catwalk has a
stride to it.
yeah. It's like he walks away.
Sashay. It's a sashay. The hips go.
Yeah, he knows Rictavio or anyone else is watching him as he leaves.
He's got to look fabulous.
There's cloak swishing. Yeah, that feels very Darzin.
Jingling from all of his jewellery.
He sounds like Christmas. Where's
Jingle jangle.
Wachterhaus? Are you all on the map? That's the wrong floor. Bear with. Righty-ho. Oh, and now I've come off the Wachterhaus page because I was looking up what the fuck Rictavio is.
Gosfring.
You walk through the North District of town as you did earlier that day when you were looking for what's his name? Vasily. I feel like that needed to be a different name because every time, I don't know about you, I just hear he's very silly.
Very silly.
Very silly. A lot of the houses look the same. This one looks even older than most. A slouching roof hangs heavy over furrowed gables and moss-covered walls sag under the weight of all that vegetation. And as you study the house's sullen countenance, you could swear you can hear the edifice actually groan. God, the stuff I write compared to what shit improvised comes out of my mouth is so much better. I have a picture somewhere. Here it is.
Ew.
Definitely a home that's seen better days.
And Ernst will stride up to the door and confidently knock. There'll be a moment as you wait, and then the door will open, and you'll see a middle-aged man, black hair, dressed in a grey butler's uniform. Oh, good evening, master. This is them, isn't?
The fella looks like Cedric's dad.
He was at the fountain the other day, wasn't he?
He was, yeah. That's when I first noticed him and called it out.
I mean, if you want to interrogate that NPC too, please go ahead. He definitely has a backstory. He will step aside so that you can all make your way into the building. So Ernst will lead the way. As you pass, he'll say, the lady is in the drawing room.
I don't know what that is.
Ernst will stop where he is and sort of point you through the door to the west. You will walk through this narrow vestibule and come to some stairs directly in front of you and then doors either side, and as you walk in to the door to your left, you will see some descriptions I can't find. You will see an ornate dining table stretching the length of the room, a crystal chandelier hanging above it, silverware, tarnished, dishes chipped, all set for a meal, but still extremely elegant. There are several chairs, their backs adorned with sculpted elk horns, and arched windows made of latticework of iron and glass looking out onto the small fog-swept estate outside. And then further into the room, you see some elegant couches and oval table made from glass, all set in front of a blazing hearth, above which hangs the portrait of a smirking nobleman sporting a broken nose and a tangle of hair greying at the temples. There are also several smaller portraits hanging on that north wall. And then sat with her back to you when you enter is a blonde woman who, as you enter, stands and greets you. She has blonde hair. It's so blonde it's practically white. There are heavy bags under her dark eyes, and they flit from side to side. That is not her description. They don't do that. That's the wrong person. She's an older woman who has wrinkles and ashy streaks of grey showing the beginnings of age in her blonde hair. She has very angular features, elegantly arranged in this updo, dark eyes, narrow lips, perfectly plucked eyebrows, very immaculate in her presentation. She stands and smooths her red dress and drifts towards you with this grace that, like Alessander, you would recognize as sort of trained poise of nobility. And can I show you a picture of her?
Alexander stands up straighter.
Darzin has already crossed the room and sat down at the head of the table.
Has. If you look back, you'll see your guide, Ernst, head through another door, the smells of cooking meat emanating from there, and close it behind him. Good evening. My name is Lady Wachter, and it is an honor to host you all in my home. Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
Lady Wachter, it's an honor to be here, and thank you once again for the invitation.
Well, dinner is to be served shortly, but for now, would you like to please be seated in front of the fire? and she'll gesture to the sofas, looking not pointedly, but as she sort of sweeps her gaze across you, it falls on Darzin for a moment longer and lingers. She has this very small smile, like very thin lips, but just slightly curled up at the edges.
So, a bit of a sigh from Dawson as he realizes he has to get up again. He'll move over with everyone else.
Please, I have introduced myself. I would be glad if you could make your introductions.
Where's Mick in all of this? Because he hasn't come in.
Where is Mick?
I can see him through the window.
Well, he is there.
Are you not coming in, Mick?
He's coming.
Through the window. Please go through the window.
I thought I couldn't go in there, and then you started talking. I didn't want to interrupt you, but I didn't see the door. Anyway.
I do imagine for a
Here
while
is
it's just
Mick.
Dawson
Here
going.
is Mick.
I'll move over, Mick. My bird doesn't need a seat as well.
The cat's just gonna be next to me. Behind me.
Ah, you have brought your pets to dinner. How charming. How do they have names?
Cat's name's Collie.
Dawson will open his shirt a tiny bit, just like that, to let Crowford just kind of hop up into a little miniature nest in the open buttons of his shirt, and will just scruff the top of his head and be like, the bird's called Crowford.
Nests in your chest hair.
It nestles in this shirt, but also I suppose yes, it would also kind of be the chest hair.
What an amusing name. And yourselves?
My name's Mick.
She'll give you a polite nod of recognition. Turn her gaze to Darzin.
My name is Dawson Stransey.
Stransey. A Barovian name, but you do not have an accent. As
Oh.
neither do I, because I keep forgetting.
No, everybody likes to point out I don't have an accent, but
For me, you have an accent. A weird
Oh.
one.
And you are, good sir?
Olaf Markov, at your service, my lady.
A pleasure. Who else is there? She'll look at Alessander.
Is she still stood up or is she sat down yet?
Oh no, she'll have sat down.
Okay, so once she sat down, Alessandra will also sit down there. My name is Alessandra Return. My lady. And then he'll quietly kind of sit back and try and hide behind Milton.
And yes, my name is Milton Westbrook.
You are all most welcome to Wachterhaus. We don't often get newcomers to Barovia, and I am intrigued to learn more about you. Oh, here's a question. Alessander, is Graham invisible for this? Or have you left him anyway?
I think we would have probably left him in our room, one of the rooms at the inn.
Oh my god.
Because I don't want Olaf to try and kill him out in public.
Someone remind
Yes,
me to roll for that later.
Do it
Oh,
in
God.
private.
long as she didn't leave him in Dawson's room.
Where else is there to leave him?
In your room.
Nah, there's. Olaf's just going to find an imp shit in his bed at the end of the night, that's all.
I apologize if I have been misinformed, but I thought there was also a tiefling amongst you.
There was
Yes.
for a time.
What happened to your tiefling friend? Tell me. Tell the good lady.
Business to take care of elsewhere, I assume. I only met them the day that they left.
He's seeing to other business outside of this town.
What a shame. I have not met a tiefling before. I can't hear you, Jim. You look like you're talking.
I'm talking to my smart speaker.
Okay. So saying, I have never met a
Alexa, play Crazy Frog.
I don't have speakers, so that doesn't
I
work.
know, I
but good
wish you
try.
did. We do that on Teams meetings all the time.
You went a bit Borat.
This is my house.
I like.
Play Crazy Frog.
Pretty please.
Sorry. So,
I apologize.
no, that just threw me. Oh, business already. You, do you mind me asking? You've only been in town a couple of days, I think. How long have you been here in Barovia? I understand you're all mist taken.
Alison will turn to everyone else and just be like, yes. How long have you been in Barovia?
Mistaken for.
Sorry, it is a turn of phrase. Taken by the mists, not of Barovia.
I see.
Well, I think it's maybe about a week, maybe, although it seems much longer.
And how have you found Vallaki so far?
A joy
Charming.
to behold.
Sorry, I caught charming. What did you say, Hazel?
A joy to behold.
Personally, I think it's a bit of a shithole.
She will raise a perfectly groomed eyebrow at you. Are you saying, Hazel, that with any? Are you trying to deceive, or?
Yes, yeah. I'm trying to not ruffle any feathers.
Fair, but roll a deception. You are very outspoken, my friend. She's talking to Darcy. Many here would fear to say such a thing. What has made you come to this opinion?
The rather drab demeanor of the people here, the prospect of everyone has to be forced to have fun and seem happy, even if they're not. To be honest, I find the laws dictating the devil himself to be a bit. They're very stupid. Just because you give him a different name, doesn't diminish his existence. You're not just pretending to be something else, claiming him to be something else. You might make people feel a little better, but it's not going to change anything.
She will give you a small smile. I think those are very wise words. Are you all in agreement, may I ask? I feel I should assure you I will not report any of this.
Perhaps I wouldn't have worded it in quite the same way, but the general feeling is about right.
I feel we will have much to talk about. And at that, I can't remember his name. Let's call him Alec. Cedric's dad will come into the room. Excuse my interruption. Dinner will be served shortly. If you would, please take your seats.
Do I go and sit at the big table now?
If you wouldn't mind.
Just to be clear, it's not pastries, meat pastries, right?
Excuse me?
For dinner, it's not meat pastries.
No, it's not pie, thankfully. I believe we are having steaks. Wolf steaks.
Why would pies be a
Very
problem?
nice.
Why would pies be a problem, Ola?
Just had a couple of bad experiences. Probably not dinner table discussion.
You're the ones who told me about it, remember?
Yes.
I
Maybe
don't
not
remember
a discussion for this time.
I don't remember being told about this. I might have to inquire later.
Perhaps you're not aware, Tarzan, but the others told me of this. Yeah, you're right, not for the table. If they're not pastries, then we're fine.
I apologize. Is someone allergic to pastry? I can just double check with Alec that we don't have any pastries.
No, my lady, I'm sure whatever it is that is being served will be absolutely delightful. And we are just thankful for the invitation.
It's very gracious of you.
Alexander will stay.
sit.
He will pull the chair out for her and make sure that she's sat comfortably before taking his own seat.
Why, thank you, my dear. And we'll take her seat.
Within all the moving from one table to the other, could Prism try to go invisible? And then, yeah, for that.
Yeah, just
Oh,
like
not Prism. Still has the old name, Collie. I'm somehow my two tokens are combined. I don't know how to. Oh, I figured it out. Yeah. She'll have a slight wonder, trying to try without attracting too much attention.
with. Yeah, where do you want to go?
So I'm assuming this door right here is closed.
Yes.
Would you be able to go upstairs? Are people sort of around the entrance area?
You can hear noise through the door to the right and the smell of food, but there's no one there currently.
Let's try to go upstairs then.
I'm not gonna make. Shall I? There's no one there to make a stealth check for, so no, I won't make you. Yes, let me put you and the stream upstairs.
You have to put Crowfoot upstairs.
I know.
Have fun, Crowford. Even though he's actually just staying at the table.
Can you see through cauliflower? Nick?
Yes, Mick
Why-
can listen.
Why do you... Nick?
I know I did.
Yep, you can head upstairs and you'll see the stairs lead up to a hallway. More old wooden framed portraits on the walls. Some large mirrors. And can Collie make a perception check?
Yeah.
You can hear movement in one of the rooms, but with that check, I'm not going to tell you which room it is. It's to the south. Once you get to the top of the staircase.
For the time being, she's mostly gonna stay put and try not to draw any attention to herself. And Mick is basically just waiting for anything to seem suspicious. And if it does, she's gonna go up to see through Colin and start searching about. But for the time being, she's just being subtle, probably hiding like under some piece of furniture.
In between the banisters, just sort of curling round one and staying put.
I can't see upstairs for some reason.
I'll just put Mick upstairs so that you can. I hoped you could see with cauliflower.
Yeah, I don't know why. I guess I don't have that token selected, so if I select it, yeah, it'll be fine.
Is it on a different map? If it's
I
on
need
a
to bring
different
you
map,
over. I'm an idiot.
you need to right click the name and pull to scene. Same with Crowford.
There's Crowford.
There you go.
That's what you see.
I see. Yeah. Okay, so go. What's this? Is that a banister there?
That'd just be like a small side table.
Yeah, under that.
Yeah.
So just having that as well. And yeah, I'll go back downstairs to that. You can delete that Mick because I can see through Cleason.
Okay. Let's
Thank you.
break all that.
That's
No
good.
worries. I don't remember where we were in the conversation.
I think the food was just about to arrive.
Yes, let's do that. So Alec will walk in with doing that thing that I never understand how waiters can do, where you balance like 3 plates on each arm and they're somehow not falling off, and they have these huge steaks on them, some roasted potatoes, some vegetables, and he'll set them down in front of the lady first, and then in front of each of you. Leave, return with a gravy boat, a bottle of wine, and start to fill your glasses. When he's done,
Only a small glass for me. And I'll put my hand on top of the glass when there's just a little bit in there.
certainly, sir.
And a small steak as well, please.
The chef will not be offended if you leave some.
Good.
Once he's filled all your glasses and set down the food, he will bow to Lady Wachter. She will say, "That will be all, Alec, thank you." And he will leave the room. I didn't even bother to bring him in. So, as she starts cutting up her steak, I take it that, from what you said, the places that you came from, none of those made a crime of malicious unhappiness, as we do here. No?
Generally not, unless it causes harm to another. People are allowed to think and feel what they want them to do.
You know, I had quite suspected that might be the case. Happiness, or its facsimile, have been very strongly enforced by the good Baron here.
So it is quite a strong facade, isn't it?
I hope it has not tainted your experience of our humble town. From what I know of other people who have come to find themselves in Barovia, I believe this is now your home. I would like to offer any assistance that I could in helping you to settle. I imagine this is a difficult experience, and there is a period of adjustment.
Thank you kindly for your understanding. It has been quite a strange experience. Though I'm sure we will all learn much from it and be grateful in the end.
Also, I'm just going to address this now. Is your bird sat at the table like that?
Well, I had put it next to Darzin. I think Matt has moved it to have its own seat, which actually is probably more like Darzin.
What is not Darzin? What is Crowford doing at his seat?
He'll be, if he's got his own seat, he'll be perched next to a plate, just kind of like tapping it, kind of like asking for food. Because presumably nobody put any food on the plate for him. So he's just going to look around at everyone else who's eating and then just go bang, bang on the plate. And then just look around at everyone else until someone gets the message.
Olav will pick his plate up and swap it with Crowford's. Just have a
No,
empty plate in front of him.
you don't need to do that. I will get Alec to bring your bird some food, please.
No. I do not wish to offend, but I have a delicate stomach, shall we say. I appreciate the hospitality. A little wine is all that I need. And the
If-
bird is being noisy, so let it eat.
He is quite the diva at times. Yes.
Wonder where he gets that from.
I cannot say I have ever met a bird. Full stop. But I was going to say a bird with such character. Has he been your companion for well, I apologize. The entire time you've been here in Barovia, or did he come with you?
No. I only just encountered it. Encountered the little bugger, perhaps maybe a few weeks ago, perhaps a month.
You'll see every time you swear, she'll sort of raise her eyebrows slightly and let them fall. Not drawing too much attention, but that there's an acknowledgement of, oh, okay. Where you come from, is it quite normal to have these creatures at your table?
Personally, I wouldn't know, but the bird seems to enjoy it, so I let it do largely what it likes. I find it quite entertaining.
Why? An animal lover, clearly. What were you perceiving, Alessander?
Just whether he'd noticed that she was kind of not okay with the swearing and just generally trying to gauge how uncomfortable she is.
For that, I'd roll an insight, if you don't mind.
But would you have seen how, like, the.
You'll have seen the eyebrows.
Okay.
But discomfort, insight.
He knows women like this. He knows them quite well.
She doesn't seem uncomfortable. She seems strangely calm. Strangely? Just very reserved and guarded. She isn't giving a lot away, but she is taking what you know is most definitely not no etiquette, good etiquette in her stride. Yes, I believe as excellent as the Baron is, he has some interesting policies, shall we say. I understand it is quite dangerous outside of these city's walls. Have you traveled many days to get here? How did you fare? Well, obviously you have arrived, but is it true what they say about the world outside being constantly attacked by wolves and all sorts of supernatural creatures?
I wouldn't say it was constant, but we have had a few running. We've travelled for a few days to get here. I would not want to speak ill of this land, but it is maybe somewhat more treacherous than we might have expected at first. Have you spent much time outside of Vallaki?
Oh, no, not at all, my dear. Ernst, my manservant who invited you, he is generally my eyes and ears about the town. In all truth, I haven't really left the estate since my poor husband passed, and that was almost 2 years ago now. You see, there are so many stories in lands such as this. It is often difficult to know what to believe, so hearing the opinion of people who are fresh to our lands is probably the closest to the truth that I will get.
I have not managed to see much of it yet. So we do have Darzan here, who is a great storyteller, and I'm sure willing to share stories with you once we gathered a few more.
So are you planning to travel beyond Vallaki?
We'll kind of look to the rest of the group. Well, I believe that we are all hoping to make our way home. So to do that, I think that I at least must Vallaki, if not with the others.
I think if you wish to go home, then maybe Strahd him. Sorry, the devil.
Lady Wachter will give you a sad smile and say, "Of course you want to go home, my dear. You do not fear the Count's name?" She'll look at Olaf.
I've seen him in battle. Of course I fear him. I'm not stupid, but he's fallible just like any man.
You have seen him in battle? When,
Yes.
may I ask? We have not seen him here in Vallaki for many, many years. Almost 50, I believe.
Well, I do not look my age, let's put it that way. A bit like Darzin. But yes, we tried 50 years ago with the help of a wizard to take on Strahd. The wizard wished to destroy him. We underestimated his strength and he killed most of us. And I
Yes,
survived.
I believe I have heard of this when I was very young. You must have been a mere boy if you were involved in this.
Yes. And he clearly badly hiding the deception.
Deception!
No, it's probably quite
bad.
obvious. Yeah, he's got like -1. I'll just say it's not even going to try.
See. And you said you too are not quite the age you seem, and she'll look at Darzin.
How old would you assume I am?
I would not dare ever venture a guess. In fact, this is awful a topic for the dinner table. I apologize. Just that story.
Well, I'm no real concerns of sharing. I'm at least 300 years old.
My goodness. Is this a result of your heritage or some magical means?
I believe it's to do with and he'll like run a finger along his ears.
Oh.
Heritage, yes, I presume so.
Yes, I apologize. We do not have many elves.
It's acceptable, yes. I think.
Do not wish to cause offense. Is there a more appropriate term?
Oh, I know some elves have different names for themselves. I don't know what mine would be.
I understand. And is this the same case for you, sir? Are you of a different race? And she will look you up and down, Olaf.
No, I am, and it will look really awkward. I am just, I was affected by magics on the day of the battle, and my metabolism is very, very slow. This is, I do not wish to offend. This is why I do not eat your food. I have eaten this month, so I do not need to eat more. And he'll hold his one hand out, his left hand, because his right one's missing. Please, do you know how to take a pulse?
Are you coming? Are you just sat down at the table? Doing
Yeah.
that? Okay.
Yeah.
She will actually look hesitantly at Alessander.
It's not a trick, I assure you.
I not let any misfortune come to you. He's being completely honest at this point.
And you have this bond, you know, the noble thing going on. She will take that cue and stand up and go over to Olaf and place her fingers upon your wrist.
You'd probably feel like a pulse every 15, 20 seconds, just like one. Just like boom, and then nothing. And then nothing. Just like it's there, but it's very, very slow. As I say, there was a great wizard with us, and my current colleagues. I was dead and they brought me back, but my life force is much slower now. So I age more slowly, I think. So yes, I was not a child 50 years ago. I looked the same as I do now.
I see.
At the wonders of magic, yes?
Yes, it indeed exists here in Barovia, but not. Again, it's not seen so frequently. Sorry, did you say one of your company here brought you back from the dead?
Well, I'm speaking out of turn again. The Modern Canaan, who led the attack 50 years ago, he was not from here. I believe he was from a... I can't remember. Perhaps it was him that was from Toril. Where was he from?
Where is Modern Canaan?
He was from Oerth. I remember now. He said his home was called Oerth. I have not heard of a place then, and I have not heard of it since. But that, he claims, is where he was from. But yes, an order rescued me from the battlefield and ensured that I did not fall into Strahd's hands. And we still seek to... I'm sorry, I say his name out loud. Does it offend you? Will you speak to Vargas about this?
No, not at all.
Vargas is a soft man, yes, compared to his father, Vladimir. He's a soft touch. He's quite kind, really. There is no floggings, there is no torture. I do not fear him. But I digress. I still would like to see Strahd dealt with. And I think that may be at the heart of how our new friends here can get home. But I could be wrong.
So, firstly, that entire time you were talking, she won't have taken her hand that's wrapped around your
Okay.
wrist off your wrist.
I'm probably quite cool as well to the touch. I'm probably not very hot.
Until you probably say, compared to his father, he is soft, at which point she will retract her hand. I don't know that I would agree with you, but you have only been in town a couple of days after all.
Maybe, but you were just a child, right?
I was.
I was not.
I have known Baron Vargas. Well, his entire family. They are, all of them, I believe, cruel. She'll start making her way back to her seat.
Cruelty breeds cruelty.
Indeed. I would have hoped that his son would one day make a better leader for us, but I've been... The young Vlakovic is very much a chip off the old block.
I've probably said too much. Just to be clear, these fine folk are temporary allies. Anything I say is on my own head. I'm not on theirs. I know walls have ears here.
They do, but you have nothing to fear from me with regards to the Baron.
Alexander's been stood up this whole time, so he'll take out the chair again and try and do the gentlemanly thing of sitting her down. And then as soon as there's a break in the conversation, he will try and change the conversation.
She will look quite sad talking about all this.
Well, I myself, only the 22 summers that I would appear, but my people, half of what Darson is, with can live for up to 180 years. Though my mother, I daren't question how old she is. I'm sure I would get a lashing if I was to do such a thing.
Yes, I would not ask your mother that question. Indeed, if my boys asked me such a question, I would, well, I would have brought them up improperly. You are my boy's age, I think. 22 sons, you said.
Yes. You have two sons, you said, boys?
Yes, one is your age, one a couple of years younger.
Would we have seen them around? Then they're not here currently?
In all honesty, I have no idea. They come and they go. They are often in the tavern, drinking or making trouble, I fear. Ever since their father passed. And admittedly, perhaps it is a result of my negligence in my mourning. I have allowed them maybe a little bit too much freedom. but they will make their mistakes and thereby learn from them.
I am sure that they are far brighter and more charming than you may be giving them credit. They are indeed your children. It must be part of them. I am sorry to hear about your loss.
Thank you. My dear Nikolai, would that he knew a wizard like Olaf here, or had some sort of ability to have stayed longer than he did. Alas. I soldier on. I would ask, on this topic of magical healing, is one of you perhaps a holy person or skilled in this way, like this wizard that Olaf mentioned?
Well, my lady, I do have some small experience in that regard.
I wonder, would it be too much to ask if, not necessarily right now, we are in the middle of dinner, not necessarily tonight, but at some point, if you would examine my daughter?
Well, of course.
Father Lucian has visited, but it is beyond him, unfortunately.
Well, like I say, I can take a look, but no guarantees of the outcome.
No, of course. Well, that has lifted me a little. No pressure intended, of course, but well, Stella was my ray of sunshine in this overcast land, and I do miss her, but she has been ill for some time now. In fact, I am quite glad that Nikolai, my late husband, did not live to see her like this.
How long has she been unwell for?
A couple of months. The illness is not of her body, but her mind. I apologize. This is no conversation for dinner, is it? You do not want to hear the sorrows of an old woman. I apologize.
Sorrows shared grow lighter, so please share.
Not that she's been eating at this time. Anyway, it's like she's been doing the motions but not putting anything in her mouth. Anyone that is eating,
Same as Olaf.
the steak is perfect. Well, I don't know how you have your steak, but the way it should be had, it's perfectly cooked. The gravy is rich, and this is probably the best meal you've had since you got here. Proper Proper roasties, proper seasoned vegetables. The wine is delicious. It's a good meal.
Mick doesn't eat any of the meat, so she will gladly offer it to anyone else that wants a second piece.
Alexander will try and
Go.
Alexander will try.
So I missed the last bit of your sentence.
I missed all of it.
Can you cutting
Alexander will
out?
try and Alexander will try and slightly swap some of his vegetables with Mick to make sure that Mick's eating enough.
Mick's gonna look up and see her eyes kind of opening up and maybe watering a little bit.
Cute. Yeah, my daughter Stella, the youngest of my children, you see, she was engaged to the Baron's son. I don't know if you know him, young man, Victor Valakovich. It was a marriage to unite our houses. I truly thought it would be good for Stella and for all of Valaki. I knew little of the young man at the time, but I shall sort of look at you, I love. Had no idea he was already so influenced by his father. As they began to spend time together, we thought the match would indeed be a happy union. It turns out he was manipulative, offered romantic declarations one moment, then accused her of marrying for influence the next. I foolishly took to be devotion was actually paranoia and dependence calculatingly nurtured. I do not know the words that he spoke to her or the manner in which he treated her. I wish I had known, but he cast her aside and she was utterly broken. I fear now that whatever I try, it is helpless to reach her. And she'll sort of avoid all of your looks, stare at her plate. Fear. It seems the cruelty in the Valakovich line runs deep. I would have hoped for a better future for our town, but now, with what I know of young Victor, it seems that will not be the case. Even if my daughter were to recover, what solace would she find in Valaki as it stands now, enduring under the Baron's rule? I sometimes think it is better for her to live inside her head as she does.
Sounds as if Victor has much in common with his grandfather.
Yes. Like I said, I do not know the exact nature of what they experienced together, but needless to say, I have seen the effect. Have you ever dealt with anything like this, Milton?
I must say, I am more used to dealing with injuries of the body. And while it's not impossible to heal the mind, it's much more difficult for me at least. It's not my area of expertise.
I understand. Yes, this is very much what Father Lucian said as well. But still, a fresh pair of eyes.
Of course.
It is much appreciated.
If nothing else, perhaps a small piece of music or something might lift her spirit for a moment or something. It's a bit of a push, but I don't know. A cheerful song now and then can do wonders for some people.
I would not expect you to work at a dinner where you are a guest, but if it brings you pleasure, indeed it would bring me pleasure to hear some music. Thank you.
Clarify that. Darzen's offering to see if Stella will respond to him playing music rather than him playing
Right,
music at the table. Although he could.
understood. Yeah? Yes? Would you like to see her now? She'll look over all of your plates. I assume those of you that are eating would mostly be done.
Oh yes, which is very delicious.
Yeah, definitely.
Good wine.
Yes, it is. It is.
Oh. Not the best, but it's pretty good wine.
It is the only one I have ever known. So, if you manage to find your way home, if you could somehow send a bottle from your homeland our way, I would very much appreciate it.
Well, I'll have to find it first, but yes.
Yeah, she'll sort of politely wait until everyone is definitely finished and then stand up from her seat and need you all upstairs, which I'm not going to bother to do because I just need to move you onto a different floor anyway. Drag you along.
Milton looks
Milton
excited.
leapfrogging.
Yeah, he's running in
leapfrogging
circles.
her.
He's so excited.
Come on, where are we going now? Where are we going now? What was in that wine? It was bloody lovely.
Just love stairs.
Ah,
Always gets excited about stairs.
oh God, cleric. Milton's really excited to just do cleric things for once. I don't have to beat things with a stick. I can do priest things.
Maybe.
So
There's
the
no
last
Cedric
time we
to
had to
steal.
deal with the last time we had to deal with a young person who had changed in some kind of way, shape, or form,
Didn't go
Milton was
well.
the murdery one.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how he gets on this time. There's no Cedric to steal his thunder, so might go well.
Oh, I should probably put her there, shouldn't I? That would be a thing as
Right.
well.
By stealing thunder, do you mean died?
Well, he did a lot of priest things before. Well, he did some priest things before he died.
I was thinking more about when he tried to lock Mick, and I can't remember Danny's character's name, unfortunately,
Selena.
in the
Selena.
basement. Selena, that was it.
Yeah, that was a very hectic time.
Mhm.
Oh, no, that's not her. She will lead you upstairs and head down till she comes to a door and remove a key from within her cloak and open that. Where is what I'm looking for? As you step inside, the room is dark. There are no windows in here. There's an iron-framed bed fitted with leather straps against the wall. There are no other furnishings. And as you enter, this young woman, hair so blonde it's practically white, heavy bags under her dark eyes, as description from earlier, that are her eyes that are flitting from side to side wildly, as if looking at things that you cannot see, dressed in a white nightgown, which almost envelops this almost skeletal frame, and a shawl wrapped around her shoulders and a red ribbon around her neck. She scurries away on all fours into the corner and hisses at you like a cat.
Oh dear, this
Me,
does look serious.
there she is.
Hello there, I mean you no harm. My name is Milton. I've come here at the request of your mother. Can you tell me your name?
She will leap onto the bed and arch her back again like a cat and hiss at you.
I'll look at the lady kind of hesitantly.
Shush, my darling, it's okay. And she will sit on the edge of the bed and stroke her daughter's head like you might a cat. But the tension in the young woman's body doesn't cease. You can see she again, like an animal, sort of sits with her legs underneath her, but her front arms in front of her, not taking her eyes off you, but enjoying the stroking that she's getting from her mother. That's good, darling. Just lie back for a moment.
Does she speak at all? I mean, and not just now, I understand, but since the illness took place, or took hold, has she spoken?
No. She mews and purrs.
That's interesting. What have I got in my spell armory, if anything? Not a great deal.
You don't have decat?
I don't have decat, no.
What's decat?
It's that famous spell that turns you back from thinking you're a cat into a human again.
Or has someone turned a cat into a human?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, pretty low charisma.
Oh yeah, you're just there in the room, aren't you?
Mm.
My daughter has always been my daughter. not a cat.
Fuck's sake.
Can I do
Hazel.
a... Sorry, Jim, go
No, it's fine. I was going to say something later to carry on.
on. I'll just do a cursory physical examination, because that's all he really knows how to do. Just check if there's any marks or scratches or
Medicine check.
anything unusual.
Physically, I mean, other than she doesn't seem too bad. Like, she is thin, but she's not malnourished. There are some scratches on her arms and her nails in particular. You would notice like splinters underneath them, and if you, I don't know, I won't make you roll a perception check. There is scratches on the bedpost. So they are brittle and broken and a little bit bruised under the nail. But otherwise she seems in okay physical condition.
Well, I'll be honest, my lady, it's as I suspected. I think this is a little bit beyond my ability, but physically, she seems okay. Some minor injuries, which I'm sure you're aware of, which is probably due to her existing condition here that you're describing. As you say, it seems the illness is in her mind, in her head. Don't have anything that can cure that type of thing.
She will sigh heavily and nod and sort of stand to gesture that and make her, you should leave the room, making her way herself. Do you stay?
I was just looking at a spell I've got. I'm going to cast Calm Emotions, just because she does look very agitated. And I don't know if it will have any other beneficial effects, but the intention from Milton is just to calm her really and put her at ease.
Yeah, that works.
But it does suppress any effects causing the target to be charmed or frightened. But that's all I have. So once I've done that, I'll leave the room.
Yeah. So as you do that, so Lady Wachter holding the door open for you. That tension in her body, you will see relax, and she will, again on all fours, do that thing where animals walk round
Yeah.
the bed before settling down.
No cure, I'm afraid, my lady, but hopefully I made it a little bit more comfortable.
Yes, I appreciate that. Well, I am sorry you had to see that, but I appreciate you making the effort. Yes, that is what our burgomaster's son has done for my child. I think after this, some more wine. 1 minute. 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 1
whilst all that was going on, could Alexandra try to maybe look in some of the other rooms?
Yes. Okie dokie. Bear with. Decide on a room.
He's gonna want to be out of their line of sight if they stood by the door, so probably just this one, a little into the corridor, and he's gonna listen to it first to see if he can hear anything in there.
This locked one in front of you.
No, they're a little further down.
Oh, I see.
The one next.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sorry. I had to be you to see, which is annoying. I can't remember what's in there. Bear with. Roll a perception for me.
24, not 20.
You can put a little glowy
Fucking hell.
effect on your dice as well.
Yeah.
You hear absolutely nothing from in there. What you will hear, which you would get with your natural 20 actually, is the sound that you hear. It's very faint, and it's coming from the north, so the stairs. The sound that you hear when Graham is flying about around you.
He's got a motherfucking imp.
Yes,
Oh
great.
shit. No, Graham is back at the inn. Oh, what the fuck do I do? It's invisible. I have no way of telling where it is. Could I try and concentrate on that little fluttering sound and try and figure out whereabouts it is?
It came from the north.
Can I kind of Marco Polo it? Hot cold.
Problem is that fluttering sound has stopped. It was brief, but you caught it. So wherever you know it came from the stairs direction. But now it's stopped moving. Guess another perception check.
19. Damn it.
Can you see that?
Yeah.
Cool. I need to learn how to hide these things, don't I?
It's a module. Talk to me after.
Okay. Yeah, you can't hear it. So you like grab hold of the banister and scan the stairs. Shush whoever's next to you, but quiet.
Martin.
I will try and screw it. Who goes there? Show yourself.
How do you know his name's Hugo? No, I'm not there, sorry.
Are they in the room at this? I can say they're in the room at this point. Nothing. Did you shout it?
There. I said it with authority, so
Yeah.
the people in the room next to me could probably hear. Well, yeah, they'll have been able to hear.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, she would stick her head out and say, Alessander, is something wrong?
Well, it would appear that there is something following us, maybe listening in. I do not appreciate such intrusion. I'm sure you understand.
Sorry, what makes you think that? We'll say that she's sort of closing the door and locking it after Milton's cast calm emotions now, so you're all out in the corridor.
Oh, I'm gonna insight check this bitch. And I'm probably gonna be terrible at it. Oh, I am terrible at it. That's a 7.
That's a 5. And I need to change that name.
It's coming up as unknown creature, so we don't know what's rolling.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You don't know. Even just normal rolls without the module should be a drop down to say private roll. So you can see the roll, I think.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that attention to detail.
This is technically the same day we fought the thing in the lake, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long old day.
Yeah.
Was that going somewhere, or did you just want to know what day it was?
If we'd have had a long rest and Alessandro mentioned that Dawson would have used Detect Thoughts, but I've used all my second level slots.
We had a short rest, I think.
I don't think bards get their spells back on a short rest, do they?
No.
That's why I'm throwing everything at you at once. Cool. But yeah, you see through her sort of. She does the whole. What are you talking about? It's almost too innocent, like a little girl. How would you react to that?
My lady, I'm sure that you do not completely trust us, and I understand some of the precautions you might take. However, when we are only trying to help you, an intrusion just feels somewhat unjust. And I'm sure a woman of your stature and competence would not have such a creature in their house unknowingly. Please, I beg of you, just ask it to be visible.
Creature?
A show of trust. You've seen my friends' pets, shall we say? Their familiars?
Roll me a persuasion with advantage. This is a good argument.
Bloody hell, when I can find it. I've just nearly rolled a perception, then I nearly rolled a performance, and then I finally remembered the alphabet and read the actual word. And I did not do well.
Oh no.
I would prefer not to agitate my daughter by talking outside of her room. Could we repair back to the drawing room and discuss this there?
After you, my lady. And I'm gonna try and listen out for the slightest flutter as we walk through.
Guidance.
Yes!
Yep, perception.
I only just realised I had fucking guidance as well, like 5 seconds ago.
Guidance is such a good spell. Guidance a +4.
Plus D4.
Yeah. And I'm gonna need it on an 18.
I forget that it has to roll with you. No.
Okay, I'm keeping that
pause
guidance
it.
for a bit longer.
As everyone sort of holds their breath in this tense moment and it's very quiet, you will hear that very faint fluttering move from the we'd say there's a
Banister.
thank you. How do
Olaf
you know
has
when I don't know words?
Olaf has blind sight, so would I know it's there?
Can blind sight see invisible
And
creatures?
within 10 feet. I can't see it, but I would know it was there.
Does blind sight
It's only 10 feet. It basically just means I can attack it, but I'm probably not going to.
You could grab it.
I could grab it, yeah, that's why I was asking. Thought I had blind sight
it
anyway.
would
Where
it
is
would
it?
detect invisibility, yes. You will, I suppose, hear or whatever blind sight is, whatever sense that's using, something move from the banister to the lady's shoulder.
And from what Alexander heard, does he know where it's? Does he have an idea of where it's gone?
It's on her shoulder.
What is?
I don't know, I can't see it, but I know it's there. I sense it.
I've still got the little pastries in my pocket from Graham. So I'm going to take out a little bit of pastry and I'm going to now offer it to her shoulder.
My last second level spell goes off. See invisibility.
The one's doing a much more sensible thing than what I wanted to do.
I was tempted to just
gonna
try
look
and grab
last-
it, but that seems a bit rude.
I was
Animal
gonna-
Yeah, that's
handling from Alessander, and yeah, there's an you've seen Graham on Alessander's shoulder. There's an imp on Lady Wachter's shoulder.
Is it
Uh,
Graham? Or can I even tell
Can you
without-
tell? That would also be probably an animal handling
without
thing,
being
or
impissed and
nature.
saying they all look the same?
Does it look like a Graham? That's really the question.
No, I won't. You don't have to roll for that.
It looks more like a Colin.
Graham is grey, and this one is red.
To George, then.
This one probably looks healthier.
The I can't remember what it was. The cinnamon roll in your hands stays in your hand.
A peace offering, my friend.
Please, downstairs.
Might just try something. I'm terribly
yeah.
sorry, lady. Dawson, having watched Alessander offer a cinnamon roll to the woman's shoulder, Dawson's going to point at it and tell a really shit joke that I don't have prepared and use hideous laughter.
Is it about a belt that you bought?
100 gold belt.
Yeah, sure.
Performance.
Oh,
oh wait,
well,
hideous laughter. Sorry.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
a wisdom save of 14.
Where is he? There he is.
I imagine Lady Wachter, no matter what, she's going to be like, what?
What?
If
It
I ask.
works. I mean, sorry, yeah, it works for you. So, what's that do? Someone remind me.
It falls prone laughing for a minute.
You will hear a very faint thud on the wood and a high pitched and Lady Wachter will, probably in the least guarded moment she's had with you so far, visibly roll her eyes and crouch to the floor to scoop up the invisible creature there and turn tail and start walking downstairs, unless anyone wants to stop her.
No, we should go downstairs. What was that for, Darcy?
I think she has an invisible pet of her own. Much like the one Alessandra had found.
I know, all I've just said. It was on her shoulder.
Mm.
Excuse me, how long is this going to last?
For a minute or until I intentionally drop it. And it is a bit annoying, so I will drop it.
Thank you. Majesto, you can reveal yourself. And this little imp that actually looks like an imp, not the weird skeletal imp that I've decided Graham is, appears. Is breathing heavily from laughing. Looks at all of you. And then sort of climbs up onto her shoulder.
Oh, hello, little fellow. Do you make a habit of watching people without their knowledge?
Cheeky voyeur.
He won't direct this to you, he'll just whisper in the lady's ear. Majesto says that you were looking in my linen closet, or about to.
I just happened to walk down the corridor a bit. I thought it quite strange to witness your interactions with your daughter in such a voyeuristic manner. So I did not enter nor touch that door.
Very well. Well, Majesto, understandably, I would hope. Keeps an eye out. He is, I suppose you might liken him to a guard dog, or your bird.
I'm quite interested actually to know, where did he come from? And were there others with him?
I can appreciate this is a difficult situation. Obviously would not want the other people in Vallaki to know that I have Majesto. They are naturally suspicious. But I would also appreciate some understanding of trust between us. Am I right in thinking we none of us appreciate the Baron's current rule?
I just say as she mentions that some of the town is quite suspicious, so she hasn't mentioned Majesto. Darzan's going to do a slow, like whole body turn and just stare straight at Olaf.
I along with that, Alexander will side eye Olaf and be like, I'm aware of the kind of concerns that you would have for your friend here. And yes, we are not, or I am not, cannot truly speak for the others, but I am not a fan of the current regime and the way things are working.
And I feel, although tentative, we have a bond of trust, a common goal at the very least. And so I apologize that I did not reveal Majesto to you instantly. He is He is a product of a ritual which I admit I performed in my attempts to find a way to heal my daughter. I looked for any kind of magics which could potentially serve to help her. And somehow this being appeared and was bound to me, and has been ever since. It has not helped her in any way, but as you have seen, it is useful for other things.
I very much understand, and I appreciate making the best of an odd situation. And again, I'll side eye Olaf.
Look at me like that, Alexander, but making dark pacts here is not wise. And that goes for you as well, my lady.
Sorry, he's very superstitious.
No, I am a Barovian, I can appreciate that. I feel you are not a father.
No. I did not get my chance.
Well then, forgive me, but you may not understand that we do not all make wise decisions when we are in mourning or seeing your child, as you have just seen now.
I'm sorry for what has happened to your child. And I will make inquiries with my people and see if they know of any way to help her, but it is all very tempting to make pacts with things we do not understand. But they do not give us what we want, they take what they want. And it is not until it is too late that we see this. I have more friends that are dead than are alive. I've seen the cost of these things many times. I just a friendly warning that you do not fall the same way. And I will turn and stare at Alessander.
You don't always have to be such a dour bastard, Olaf.
You don't see them like I do.
No, I don't.
I hope you never do.
I hear your concerns, Olaf. I understand them. In all honesty, I do not understand at all what I invited into this world, but in my experience with it so far, it's only served and caused no harm.
And long may it continue. Just if the next part of the pack presents itself, maybe be cautious and think long and hard before you take it further. Just a voice of experience from an elder, shall we say.
Forgive me, I forgot that you are older than you are.
I am 84.
Do you think there is any way you could learn how you came to be this way? You said the wizard disorder. Do you know where they are?
They are everywhere. They are watching. even now. Inquiring minds. If you wish me to send a letter, then I can. But there is sometimes a cost.
As with all things. My
The
family.
cost for me is no family. And 84 and I look the same as the day this happened. My heart beats 4 times a minute. I cannot eat, I cannot drink. I cannot drown, but I cannot feel the breeze on my face. I cannot taste this wine that Darzin is so fond of. It is a high
Which
price.
He's absolutely drinking more of. Hell, that
I'll push my glass over to him because I'm not going to drink it. It's still as it was when it was poured.
Dawson's got to cope
Kev.
with her life somehow.
I am.
The one thing I've learnt about this place is when we die, we are still here. All of us, we will be here forever. So maybe death should not be feared, because we are never truly gone in Barovia.
I again speaking as someone who has a family to someone who has not, would pay any cost to have my husband back. And if this is something that you can arrange, I am interested.
And send the message that you are interested. I cannot promise they will respond.
Who
They-
is they?
Cannot speak the name. If they wish to contact you, they will. They decide who is worthy and who is not. They decide who is safe to bring back and who is not.
And surely you would have some say in that, so what would you have of me?
You know what I want, I already said it. The devil.
The Gestal? What of him?
No. Strahd. Strahd killed everyone I know, everyone I ever loved. He needs to go. He is older even than me.
And how can I assist you there?
You tell me.
My plans are not so far-reaching as yours.
Then it seems we cannot help each other, I'm sorry.
But I would suggest that if we could have more influence over this town, you might better be able to find an audience with the Lord of the Land.
And you wish to be the burgomaster here. You are a fitting candidate.
I would consider myself so, but I am understanding. If you think there is a better option, we can have a vote. I am a reasonable woman.
Half of the people here are unsuitable, the other half are empty.
Yes. But I want you to understand I am not seeking power, I am seeking an end to this Baron's rule. My interests in the town are sincere.
I cannot deny cruelty breeds cruelty, and Vladimir was a cruel man. And his son is twisted and broken, and it seems his son, too, is heading that way. Perhaps we should break the cycle.
She'll look at the rest of the party. Would you agree?
You could always select Blinksky.
I'm sorry. I think I've missed some steps in this plan, if we can call it that. How does one even become a burgermeister? Is it an elected position? Because it seems so. From what I can see, my assumption was it was inherited because the previous one was this man's father. Is that not the case? Is it an elected position, or?
No, you are indeed correct. The town Valakovich. The town Valaki is named for the family Valakovich, but my family has been here just as long as his. And if
Right. Well, the next question is, I can't imagine he will willingly give up this title, and that's what worries me, is the unspoken part of the plan that everyone seems to be brushing over.
from my understanding, from my ears and eyes, we are not the only people that feel this way about the Burgomaster. I do not think anyone would have. Sorry, go on.
Well, that's as may be, but the question still stands, is how is he to be removed from power? Because it won't be willingly, I'm sure.
I believe that as long as the Baron has his resources at his disposal, whilst his attack dog roams the streets without impunity, fear will reign. If his bodyguard was to be removed from the equation, I think the people would somehow find their voice again.
Again, this word removed from a equation. It sounds so very sterile. This is not. I don't understand. I'm afraid I'm going to need details.
And I do not have the resources for what I am asking, but from what I can see of you, your weapons, your pets, you
He's
may.
asking for a coup, Milton.
I understand that. There's many ways of achieving that, and that's the detail I'm asking for.
Well, we perhaps don't need to kill the bodyguard. He seemed quite taken with me when we met him at the gates.
The bodyguard is empty.
You do not understand. You have been here a couple of days. Izek Strasny is a deadly individual.
Yes, but he was very keen to regard me as a friend when I first met him.
That's because he's empty.
I don't know what you mean by calling him empty.
Would he be removed from the town? What alternative is it you are proposing?
I don't know. But he seemed remarkably friendly and keen to converse. When we spoke last, he even had a doll made of me, it would seem.
Oh,
Oh, yes, Dawson will take the doll out of his coat and place it on the table next to him. Apparently, he's had quite a few commissioned from Blinksky, and we saw this one, and apparently we were able to find out it was from Izek's request, and Izek agreed to let me have it.
Linsky really does waste his talent. This is an excellent likeness, but
It's uncanny, isn't it?
odd. Well, As I said, I am a reasonable woman and open to other plans. If we are all agreed that the burgomaster must be usurped, then I suppose we have an accord, and I am open to whatever suggestions you may have. The only thing that I would say is I would rather it take place sooner than later. The festival in 4 days feels like a good place for such an event. The whole town will be gathered. I will be able to instantly address them.
And I am supposed to be performing at the festival.
This festival seems to forever be 4 days away. It's so strange.
Tomorrow it will be 3 when we have
Yeah,
finished
so-
the conversation.
It never seems to get closer.
It was 5 days. It's just been a very long day.
I know. It's been a
Been
very
an
long
incredibly
day
long
again.
day.
And it is 10 o'clock, so I should probably say go away and discuss your plans. And return to me.
This is a slippery slope we walk upon. It's hard to know what is for the great good here. I'm sure we can figure something out.
Can't be bothered wrapping it up. All the niceties. Thanks for coming.
Snuff the candles out.
Lead you out, yeah. No more wine comes. It's a sign.
Sad Darcy.
Yeah, start clearing. Take the glass out from under Darzin.
It's
And,
alright, he's still got a bottle in his bag.
we can say, if you had anything you want to discuss before we finish, you can make your way outside so you are not in the room with her. Or if there's any other questions you had before you left her.
Blue water in for our well-deserved rest.
Let's make it tomorrow. Let's turn today into tomorrow.
Let's just go to sleep for 3 days.
You can go straight to bed if you want. That's absolutely fine.
Whilst Darzin is in his little personal room that he's got to himself because he's arrived separate from everyone else, he'll spend 4 of his hours writing in his little book on a few sheets of paper and playing with Crowford, and then he'll go outside and tuck a little note in with Crowford's little foot strap things, and he'll be sending Crowford off to have a little fly around for a little bit, and then he'll go back in trance.
Do you notice anything when you're in trance?
I think you do. I have to check now because I'm sure we do because Malice noticed when we got attacked by goblins and out of the abyss.
Then-
Choden did not. He was in it too deep.
Olaf's
It's,
not here.
Olaf.
You're
doesn't sleep.
semi-conscious.
I think Olaf is fully conscious, isn't he?
You have to lie motionless. For
I basically look like I'm dead.
Yeah.
Darzin is in a separate room and no one has argued this at any point.
Well, Darzin arrived
Yeah, you did
while
arrive
everyone
before
else.
everyone else, didn't you?
Or
Then-
Olaf would actually just sit in a chair. He wouldn't even go to bed. He would just sit in a chair, and anyone that does get up in the night would just look like he's died, sat in the chair.
No.
He would literally just be like completely stationary, eyes open, staring into space,
Then
Haunting.
not
the
breathing. Yeah.
last thing before we decide we don't need to do watches and stuff or whatever, Crowford comes back within 10 minutes.
I was expecting that to be a much
Yeah.
longer wait for you to come back.
Yeah. And on that note, thanks for watching, Matt and
Stop it.
Jim.
Darzen will be like quite kind of like unnerved by the fact Crowford was back so soon. Oh shit.
Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yay! No one knows what's going on, Jim. I love it.
They can probably guess.
But they don't metagame because they're good boys and gals.
Yes, everyone's a little star.
Where is Crowford?
He's in his room.
Room with Darzen.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's why I can't. That's why the stream can only see his room and not ours.
Yep.
Ah.
Darzen has this room, and everyone else is in this one, I think.
Mhm.
I mean, if it's gonna disturb your rest, I'm happy to sit and look dead in that room with you.
No, once he's done doing his scribblings, he'll just go and sit on his bed.
But yeah, I love would just sit at that table and staring at the door.
Weird. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
looking pretty creepy and weird.
Weekend at Olav's.
Thank you, everyone. Another RP session. I'll try and think
Thank
of a way to
you.
kill you next time. Yeah.
You have to put the RP in between killing us, because otherwise, we don't get to know our characters before they're gone.
I thought you'd get to know each other with Lady Wachter, but instead you had a weird heart-to-heart with Wachterhaus.
It was a heart-to-heart with Wachterhaus, and then fucking playing Sherlock Holmes in Lady Wachter's house.
I didn't expect you to pick up on Majesto. That natural 20 from Hazel was a delightful surprise. And it was a linen closet you were listening to.
Yeah, I thought it might be. It seemed an odd place for anything else, but he just wanted to be a bit nosy. He had to hear Majesto. He is, as Sanctuary is one with the imps.
Anyone else, but it had
Whisperer.
to be you.
Very much, Veronica.
Yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cracking session.
We need to give me a
That's good,
nickname
that's
because whenever
good.
you full name me, what have I done, Mum?
I don't know. How do we shorten it? Veronica?
No,
Nika?
no.
Vee Wee Herman.
Oh, I
Pee
like
Wee
Nika.
Herman. Oh, do
Okay,
you?
It's like a
that's one I've never had before.
Which one?
Okay.
Nika.
like Mika
Oh,
Burton.
Nika. Yeah.
I've had Von before, which I quite like because of the Strahd connotations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my best friend calls me
I've
Von.
known,
I
Von
prefer
Grub.
Von
known-
Mika.
It
I've
sounds very
known
German when you say
Veronica
Von Grub.
to Ronnie. But that
I'm not
just,
a Weasley! Sorry, it's triggering.
yeah,
Weasley.
Ronnie.
Corbett.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Hence the. I've known of Veronica short to Weasley. No, not Weasley. I know of Veronica short to Ronnie, but yeah, no, not the best one.
Tune in next time to find out what my nickname is.
Yes. And on that note, I will stop the stream. Unless you've got anything
Bye-bye.
else you want to say. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm saying bye to myself, basically, when I rewatch this tomorrow.
Bye, future Matt.
Bye.
Bye, future me.